This is Manny Avetesian with Aveti Arts bringing you another episode of Caricatures Gone Wild.
Make sure you don't put too much fat on my face, man.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Caricatures Gone Wild. Thank you foremost for watching. So here we go with a triple. Gives us a lot of opportunity to have fun with different shaped faces. Here we have three gentlemen, very fun to draw. Three different face shapes. Two are somewhat similar with rounder faces, but just different enough to have some fun with them. So I very quickly start scribbling a layout to try and get a dynamic feel with some facial overlaps. And the approach that I take is there's this really fun game I like to play with friends where I'll take a notebook sheet and just start scribbling all over it. And then we'll pass it around the room and you have to try and find a face in the scribbles and complete it into a full face with all the features. It's kind of the approach I take sometimes with faces. So I'll start with the gestural, very quick, rapid lines of scribbles, and then I'll look for certain shapes that pop out at me, and that's kind of the approach I took here. Of course, you're trying to get likeness. You're not just doing random scribbles. You're looking at the subjects more than a piece of paper and trying to come up with really fun, high energy lines that you can then turn into facial features. Here I started with a gentleman on the right. He had the longer face and the one that I decided to put in the foreground so that then everything, all the other faces would fall behind his. Just something about layout. It's so easy to just, you see three faces, to just put them right next to each other or lay them out like with one on the bottom, two on top, and come up with that default layout where there are no overlaps. But one thing I learned from my homeboy Paul of Vinizet, the master of overlapping faces, in my opinion, he's incredible. Check out his work, Paul of Vinizet. He in really fun ways overlaps faces. He has nose sticking in front of a person's face, or the faces just kind of fitting together like puzzle pieces. I didn't do so much of that here with this sketch because they're all men, and usually it's more I think appropriate to do that with a guy and a girl where their facial features like noses, lips, and eyes or whatnot overlapping. But with these guys, still had a lot of fun. I like to have the customers move and talk and interact while I'm drawing them because I feel it helps me get a more realistic feel for the individual's personality, to try and put that into the sketch, and just I feel like I get an overall better feel than if I just had them sitting still staring right at me, which is kind of awkward and weird. Some artists like that. I'm not one. So coloring three faces is super easy, super fun for me because I'll grab the dominant shade, throw that over all the faces, and then I'll work my way warm to cool like I enjoy doing, and I'll do that throughout all the faces. So I'm not constantly going back and forth into my art box. I just grab one color, work it through all three faces. I'll grab the next color, work that color through all three faces. And this kind of goes along the lines of drawing fast. Of course, it is a shortcut. I wish I could have spent another 30 minutes on this drawing, but it is a live sketch and you don't want people sitting around that long. So I do try to work quickly and cut some corners, unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time, it does keep it fun for the customer who doesn't have to sit there for an hour and a half waiting for their sketch. People do get restless in my experience. So again here, they all had really similar tones, just one maybe slightly darker, yellower than the other, and I tried to do that here. The gentleman to the rightmost was a lot yellower or yellow ochre than the other gentleman, so I try to capture that. Try to break some boundaries with your drawings. This isn't the greatest sketch, but I am happy with it. There are things I would change, but overall I feel like the layout works and I pushed myself into an uncomfortable zone with trying to, not necessarily compliment these guys and make them look all sexy or anything, of course, but just try to capture their personalities and their look. So regarding pushing your sketch, I feel like it is so rewarding to constantly put yourself outside of your comfort zone. If you like your sketch and you've been doing the same thing for years and you don't want to change that and you're happy with it and you're making money, fine. That's totally fine. But I feel like there's another aspect of caricature, one that lies in pushing yourself as an artist, gaining the respect of your fellow artists, if that matters to you, matters to some. I feel it's an important part of motivation and making yourself constantly grow and learn, so as to not stay stagnant and in one place, because unfortunately what happens is your brain gets used to that and you don't build new inroads, and it's a lot easier to default to your normal basic park sketch, and before you know it your brain doesn't even want to change or isn't even capable of changing, and it's extremely difficult to learn new tricks, if you will. So always putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation is what I encourage. Anyway, have fun out there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Check it out. You ready?
Papa, can I take a photo?
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe for more to come.